day, a year ago, I had just finished up another season of coaching basketball and was starting my annual tradition of firing up all the dating apps for yet another year of failed attempts to find someone. In spite of the number of signs, hints, and straight up speaking clearly to my spirit, I doubted God when He said He would give me a wife. Year after year of disappointment and loneliness had drowned out a faith that I had no problem exhibiting in other areas of my life. But in this area, there was no faith to be found, only doubt. Then I started talking to this girl with a name I had never heard of before. My family goes to a cabin for a spring break booked months earlier in what I would find out was named Laurel Valley. And as we drive past a sign with that name on it, I say, "That's funny." Then Dad and I played at a golf course associated with the community of cabins there, and we find out it's called Wild Laurel Golf Course. And I spend the whole round thinking about you and wondering if God is trying to tell me something. But I still doubted. We started talking more, and I doubted you would agree to go out with me, to the point that I was willing to write a 500-word essay, which you didn't make me do, and put on a pink tutu, which you later did make me do, to convince you. When we finally went out, I doubted, wondering if we were just wasting our time if we continued this charade. I doubted you would say the word penguin and let me court you. Of course, you finally did. And for the first time I can remember, I was willing to receive the true peace He was trying to offer in this area of my life. I knew He would answer that prayer and let me know one way or the other, even if it wasn't today. And then I pulled into your driveway and you walked out your front door. And on 5-2, with 7 being the biblical number of completion and perfection, God told me the journey to find my spouse was finished. You were her. You were here. And God had come through once again, like He always has, like He always will for us. Today, on 3-5, the biblical number 8 of a new beginning is represented. And today, with His help, it's my turn. My turn to lead you in faith. My turn to love you as Christ loves the church. My turn to be your shoulder to cry on. My turn to buy you Fountain Diet Cokes when you need them. My turn to have and to hold you from this day forward in sickness and in health and in everything else, as long as we both shall live. And I vow to do all these things, not to the best of my ability, but by the strength and love He gives me for you. Which brings us to one last question that you've heard a time or two and that I couldn't leave out of this day. Hey, are you ready to be my wife yet? Because I am sure ready to be your husband today.
I've always heard the right person will come along when you least expect it, but I never thought that would happen until you walked into my life. Exactly 1 year ago today, still single, I sat in a small women's conference where the Lord used the message to convey that if God had placed a desire in my heart for marriage, there would be nothing left to fear, that He had already fulfilled that promise to me. Just a few short weeks later, He saw fit to let the promise start to unfold. I remember on our first official date, I sent a photo of us to my friend, and her immediate response was, "That is your husband." I was mortified at the time that she would make such an audacious comment, but as it turns out, she was right. To be honest, I started writing these vows before I even said yes to a relationship, because I already knew where this was headed. I already knew this was different. I knew you were different. I recently heard a quote that said, "What if marriage was less about making you happy and more about making you holy?" And I can't tell you how much I agree with that statement. Above all else, my desire for this marriage is that it draws me closer to Christ as it draws me closer to you. Marriage should be an earthly representation of Christ's love for us, and you have already demonstrated that love so perfectly in the way that you love and care for me. From the beginning, you have been adamant about the fact that love is a choice, and every day you have continued to wake up and choose me. Today, I vow to wake up every single day for the rest of my life and always, always, always choose you. I choose to love you in times of plenty and just as much in times of want, I choose to love you in times of joy and just as much in times of sorrow. I choose to love you and care for you in times of sickness and just as much in times of health. I choose to honor you, to cherish you, and to never forget how blessed I am to have you by my side. I choose to love you, all of you. I choose to love even the unlovable in you, because you've already shown me what it looks like to love the unlovable in me. And when the hard times come and the world tells us it's time to turn and run, I will always, always, always choose to stay. Every hour, every minute, every second of the rest of my life, I choose you.
I choose you.